May I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Who's Superman in the house? Our second show for the day. We're going to cover a little bit about ProveX countdown, which is I think about 15 hours away from now, and we're also going to get into a little trading pool got set up, and it's had a lot of drama. So we're going to go through a few comments on that, so people confused by that they can listen along to some of the opinions there. We're going to check out Richard Hart's comments. We're going to check out Crypto Solve. We're going to have a quick check out of Giga, who's normally trying to trade these things early on. And we're going to also look at Shillgates, another well-known community person in Pulse Chain, some of their comments. So also get your comments in the chat. Yeah, I mean, is it a real launch yet? I mean, is this something we're worried about? I mean, the pool looks ridiculous and looks like you can buy but never sell. But apparently the guy that set it up can set up other accounts and sell down and slowly scrape a little bit of profits here and there, into the several thousand now, I think, from the looks of it. So when the unlock happens in about 15 hours or so, is the whitelist broken or is it going to be selling down? So we're going to have a look at all those sort of things and wait for proper LP pools to be set up, probably by Richard Hart and third parties, is my guess. So we've got Hex Vader in the house there. Hey, gang, good to see Hex Vader. Welcome to the chat. Nice and early. And, let's get into it. Let's get straight into it and see where things are heading, some of the information so far. Also, add any, if you got any insights, let us know in the chat there as well. That's what it's all about. So we had Richard here trading. So I'm going to have a quick look at the pool. I don't recommend anyone buy or anything. Once again, do your own due diligence, but the whole thing looks pretty ridiculous. So you can't sell all sorts of stuff. There's going to be everyone getting their tokens and dumping. So the first LP pool set up by somebody, it looks very honeypottish. So just take note of that. But that is the chart at the moment. It got sold off and then back up. Just be careful out there, folks, with that. So that is the chart there. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but that is what's happened so far. So let's have a look at the countdown here with Richard. So Richard Hart here doing the launch. We always seem to have issues with launches because people can set up their own LP pools, basically. So there we go. So let's get into the main driver here. So 7 hours ago, we had this post, which I did cover in my first live stream. But basically, it's got the contract, right, that everyone got their tokens. And, of course, Richard, because of the sacrifice, this should be traded at zero, right? So PRVX has launched at zero value, and people have been trading their coins around zero value for almost a day now. Now, I guess he means, I don't know, transferring them or something like that. You have had dominion and control of your PRVX for almost a day now. So 24-hour ticks over, it's still zero kind of thing. It's perhaps a great place to solidify your cost basis at zero. And, of course, the launch was about 2 days. So you got your old 24-hour at zero, and that kind of sets the price, right? So no value really transferred there. This help prevents claims that received income, which is the main line there, right? That's kind of the idea. The coins can't be sent to your smart contracts until block 2.6 or 26 million, I should say, which is estimated to occur at, what time is that? It's a little bit confusing there. March the 14th, and it's 8:34 p.m. Eastern. So there we go. Unless you're on the waitlist. The whitelist and timer all expire at the same time, and they've got the countdown there. So that's kind of the official stuff there. I won't read the stuff about Tron, but that is kind of the main play there. And, of course, they've got the website app.provex.com. So that was kind of where we started. After that, we had a few other posts, and some of them were about providing LP, which we already read, so I won't read too much into that. Maybe we might touch on it for completeness. But we did get this 4 hours ago. Warning, it looks like the code is actually only letting people buy. So people can buy and not sell, and people not on the whitelist are buying. So if you're not on the whitelist, of course, you're buying. You're on the whitelist, you're waiting for your tokens, or your tokens are in your wallet, but you're waiting to be able to, I guess, sell them or whatever you're going to do with them. Thinking out loud, says Richard 3 hours ago, if the code does what it's supposed to do in 20 hours or so, which is about 15 hours now, at that point, anyone could sell. Anyone on the whitelist can sell now. I would suggest buying until the code state is observed in 20 hours. Now, obviously, we don't suggest that at all. Emphasize on, I would suggest buying. I don't want losers to pretend that the until actually means anything. I don't give financial advice, and I'm not a professional of any kind. Let's see how the expiration timer works in around 20 hours, which is about or probably 17 hours or 15 hours by my count, somewhere in that ballpark. TLDR, thinking out loud, if the timer works right in 9.5 hours or so, then whoever races to sell first gets to the price. I guess he's talking about the chart we looked at. Obviously, that is just one pool that someone set up with Pulse. Unless whitelisted address nuke it first, or other people just choose not to buy something they can't sell and then let it sit as close to zero as possible for 9.5 hours. Now, obviously, got some ridiculous price on there, and selling, seeing if the timer works as intended after it ticks over. I'm not a fan of the race to dump mechanic, so consider just not buying for 9.5 hours if you prefer prices to be near zero for as long as 24 hours they were. Sell if you can. I think that whitelisted addies only, he says. So there we go. Now, we did have some comments here from Liberty Swap. Now, these kind of posts are not very helpful. I think we can all generally agree that they're helpful, but they're not at the launch phase. Is not helpful when you get this sort of stuff. So it just makes everyone like confused and annoyed and all the rest of it. So it's not necessarily the best thing, even though he's trying to explain it. So Liberty Swap says, I think we should just let people do what they want for a few weeks and months. Everyone can buy and sell at any price from zero to infinity. With a small pool of liquidity, long-term players will show up, while those in it for a quick gain can sell at a loss and leave. So there we go. I think that's some wisdom right there. So Proof of Work says, 3 hours ago, it appears that there is only one wallet, the Dev, which is able to sell. Even the whitelisted addresses aren't able to. Right now, consider advertising the Dev to dump the price back as low as they can, he says. This is his opinion, of course. But don't introduce too much supply. Less than 5 billion tokens sold should do the trick. So that was one view there. So there we go. But we're going to jump over to CryptoSoul, which has done some pretty good analysis here and has been tracking this development in this pool that got set up. So let's scroll down there and have a quick look at that. So 4 hours ago, we got that post from Richard warning it looks like code is actually only letting people buy and not sell. And then, of course, they provide their first sort of feedback on that. CryptoSoul, which is kind of one of the analytical influencers on X, says it looks like liquidity was added. 1 billion PRVX and a minuscule amount of Pulse, a little minuscule, so really not much fun in this pool. The first buy on the pair cleared out almost the entire LP, buying almost 1 billion tokens for 6 million Pulse, which essentially made the price skyrocket. The way the code is set up, and of course we looked at the chart just earlier, nobody can sell until the time lock is up. Well, that's what they thought, right? It's currently traded at 75 trillion per coin, a ridiculous, obviously, value. But the second a whitelist addresser sells, and once the time lock lifts, they'll effectively clean out all the Pulse in that pool with even a small sell. So we're expecting, or once somebody adds a large sensible ratio pool on PulseX V1 tomorrow, is what we're expecting to happen, something like that, it'll normalize pretty quickly anyway, as everything will flow to a larger LP pool. And I guess that's reasonable. We're kind of expecting that. Buying now is pretty stupid, and I agree with that, right? So it's pretty stupid. You can do what you want, though. People are free to be stupid. Any money you spend will be wiped fast, there as well. So kind of cool. What else there? So Crypto Sparbook says, so someone got $50,000 SAC value for nearly free. And then Crypto Solves, yes, same block as the LP deploy. So someone clearly got a bot set up to buy as soon as they see the CA deploy a liquid transaction on the main pool. Now we know there's kind of a lot of people, or there's a good handful of people that can do that sort of stuff as well. What else there? We got some more comments about that too. Someone says, so it's a honeypot, an accidental one. So that's probably the way to view it. Once the block hits that trading is allowed, then it's fine. This is a relatively minor problem, and that's probably the way to view this little baby LP pool at the moment. So just better to wait for the big, proper pools to be set up and proper rates with all the supply are. That's kind of the idea. Obviously, we'll see what happens with the market supply and demand once we've got bigger pools set up. So we also got Apex here. So someone got 1 billion PRVX for 6 million polls. That means somebody basically got 50K worth of PRVX for free. Doesn't that essentially give PRVX a new shark for free? And now we have to get new Rackham and his, whatever. We got those comments there. Sure, although if a 50,000 sack scares you, then we're cooked. Well, a lot of people are pretty fearful these days on the old chart there. So that was some of the comments we got. So let's back out of CryptoSolve because he's got some more to say about this. And so, 3 hours there. He goes, it looks like an address related to the one that added the liquidity in that small pool is the only one currently able to sell and is chipping away. So we're not waiting for the whitelist to sell the people that sacrificed and is chipping away $100 to $150 at a time. And now basically zero ProveX sold. So do not buy right now. And of course, we saw that chart earlier. Someone was buying that chart up, right? So I don't know whether they're trying to make it look good for people to keep buying and knowing there's a lot of FOMO around. People they're not thinking, they're just trying to think they're going to get a good deal, and they're getting a terrible deal. They can buy and not sell, and then there's all the supply coming. So pretty crazy. We got Clinton's in the house as well. Good to see Clinton's. G'day, Superman and crew. Hey, always a pleasure. Great to see you, Clinton's. Don't forget to get in the chat. It's all about the community. You guys get in there. Let us know your thoughts about this. I know that it's probably been a lot of drama around it. So that was from CryptoSolve. I don't know if we've got any comments on that one. Let's have a look there. Ever seen anything like this? Is this nothing more than marketing to get eyes on Pulse Chain? Seeing that big green percentage? No, this was likely a mistake, says CryptoSolve. Well, typically it might also be somebody just setting it up there. Hey, have you seen what happened to Stacks? Yes, wrecked. Always knew it was a high-risk play. The guy certainly proved why today, says CryptoSolve. We talked about that earlier today. So there we go. I think that was it on that one. We've got more from CryptoSolve, who's kind of pet detective here, and we appreciate his work. Someone is making spoof transactions to make it look like the ProveX SAC and ProveX dev addresses are sending ProveX tokens with a new contract address out to other wallets. These are fake. There's only one ProveX token. Don't buy the scam one. And of course, we knew that scam's always going to be an issue, right? We got status reclaim there. So you've got that circled there. Just be careful there from this address. So there we are, a little bit of Pulse Chain Stat says was only a matter of time until scammers showed their heads. Yeah, I don't know. Scammers out there, dark arts, as they say. Have we got Sean O'Malley in the house there? Nothing to see here. Let's move on. It's kind of like that, isn't it, Sean? Basically, just keep away from the pool, wait for the proper launch tomorrow in about 15, 16 hours or so. We've got DJ Paulie Wood in the house there. Big shout out. We've got the old Angels there. Lucky Nat, always a pleasure. Thanks. Good to see you here again, DJ. And I saw you comment the other day. Wookie says these are only one petitive. There's only one petitive. That's true. Do they live where you are, Wookie? Do they live where you, Wookie? All right, so let's get into the main updates. So 2 hours ago, we got a post-mortem from CryptoSolve, which helps a lot of people understand what's going on. We got a brief post-mortem of the ProveX LP situation we've just seen. So we got a whitelisted address added, 1 billion ProveX. And of course, Pulse there was 0. How many zeros in that? Quite a few. 1 and Pulse to a PulseX LP2. We are probably expecting a V1, right, to be the main pools to set up. Richard Hart asked about those. Of course, we'll go back to that in a minute. Presumably add effectively a 0 price per token to help the airdrop at 0 concept. So that was kind of the indication there. However, there's always the big but, or however, the ProveX contract appears to only prevent addresses aside from whitelisted ones from sending. So the ProveX contract appears to only prevent addresses aside from the whitelisted ones from sending tokens to a contract until the block stamp at which the restrictions are removed, which we're expecting about 15, 16 hours from now, right? It doesn't stop a contract from sending tokens to an address. When you make a DEX buy, you are sending Pulse to an LP contract, and the contract sends you the requisite amount of tokens in return. You can't sell, though. That would require sending your tokens to a contract, which you can't do yet. This means people can now buy ProveX but not sell. The only person currently capable of selling the chart is the whitelisted address, Dev, presumably. Although in 18 hours, or what's that, about 15 hours from now, something like that, everybody can. For now, buys are pointless. And that's probably the key takeaway, right? So if you have the key takeaway, that's the key takeaway there. Bruce says, how much longer till launch? Well, I have it at we got 5 plus 10. So about 15 hours is what I have it approximately from now. It's about 8:30 Eastern time on Saturday. We got Sean in the house there. Good to see you, Bruce, by the way. Up only 369. Up only indeed. Yes, see, Sean's trending. Sean's trending with the up only there. He's become unstoppable since Crypto Coffee posted them out. He's growing by leaps and bounds, which is great to see. Keep growing the follow there. Keep growing the follow. Briz says 15-hour live stream. Let's go. I don't know, man. That's a lot, Briz. That's something you might be able to do. I know you can do things like that, but it'd be a bit tough. I already did was it 2 hour and 15 minutes or something earlier? I was supposed to be doing 1 hour during my normal live stream, and it ended up like 2 hours because this LP pool got launched and Richard posted during my live stream. So that's just the way it goes. So where are we up to on this? So yeah, for now, buys are pointless. The problem with the setup is that the initial LP was so minuscule that any buy would have drained almost all the liquidity and skyrocketed the price. Well, we kind of saw that. That's exactly what happened. And now it's trading at $50 trillion per coin or whatever it is right now, something similar to that. One address managed to make a 6 million pulse buy in the same block as the LP added. There's some smart people out there, right? They've clearly got a bot set up to snipe the PROVEX LP launch. And they accidentally hit a gold mine. Woo-hoo-hoo! People talking about 50K worth of SAC tokens. 6 million pulse picked up almost 1 billion tokens. Just an astounding amount, right? Astounding amount. Effectively giving them the equivalent of $50,000 SAC with a bonus multiplier for $64 worth of pulse. There's always winners in these things. There's always winners. That's all we can say. Lol, what the hell? It was a fish in my your GQ, is it? In your Go? Yeah, you got your fish. I like the fish animation. Right, so we've got that. We got what's next. The price is easy to fix. Stick a decent size LP at the contract ratio on Pulse XV1 tomorrow around the time, and that contract opens up and everything will be ARB to the contract price, or correct price, I should say. No harm except to people foolish enough to be buying there. So in other words, just don't buy the LP pool. The free SAC for the sniper, yeah, not much you can do about it. Someone got lucky and they're about the same level of sell pressure as the 30th largest sacrifice wallet. So that's pretty insightful. From the volume ranking phase, it's unfortunate, but it's done now. It would be a bigger mess around there to redeploy the entire token. So we expect things will stay the way they are. So there we go. That is some insights there. We've got a few comments about it though. Libby Swat says, I think if we want to fix this, just let the coin be unlocked in around the 80, 90 hours from now, which is about 15 hours from now. Those who want to sell can sell into the small liquidity pool and keep the pool low like that for a few weeks, months. Those who want to sell can sell. Those who want to stay can stay. And probably a lot of FUD will come out. However, on the positive side, the launch might not put pressure on Pulse Chain core assets, which have been beaten up over the long time. Well, we're seeing Pulse Chain assets getting a little bit beaten up today, right, after the big rally last night. Crypto Soul says, yes, the best way forward is to do nothing from here, although someone needs to add some decent LP around the unlock time. But that's about 99% of this issue will self-resolve by tomorrow. Yeah, so some good comments there. All right, so that is some of the stuff there. So hopefully that kind of, between Richard's post and Liberty Swap, that kind of, I think, wraps up what's happening with the LP pool. So we've still got the launch to come in about 15 hours, tokens essentially unlocked on the whitelist, and proper, we'll get some fat LP launch, right? So coming back to Richard, that was the other thing that Richard was looking at, right, was LP. So we'll get back to that and quickly talk about that one more time. On the old Richard Hart post. So let's find out where those were. I think they're a few further down, weren't they? Somewhere down here. Something like this. So how much liquidity and paired with what do you wish the ProveX coin to be in 24 hours, which is about 15 hours now? Explain verbosely. Richard likes saying that. At what price? Explain verbosely. He's a funny guy. And of course, we've gone through that in the previous live stream. We spent about an hour going through people's comments and opinions about what liquidity should be. But that's kind of what we're expecting to happen. So it looks like Magic Carpet Ride OA kind of wallet there. The ProveX one will probably set up some LP on V1, and we should expect, I guess, reasonably to see which idea does he like the most and what that looks like in about 15 hours or so, and what a V1 LP pool might be. And of course, whether we'll get an Ethereum pool as well. Obviously a lot of sacrifice was on Ethereum. So we'll see what happens there, and we get nice arbitrage play. I think there could be a nice little winner there. What the hell? There was a fish. I bet the sniper was Giga. Look, that's highly possible, which is why we're going to look at Giga's comments now, which is very timely. I heard he was sniping stuff, or maybe it was Almighty. It could have been one of those guys, Could be one of those guys that know how to do this stuff. Giga was devastated. Maybe Almighty, he was very quiet in space. Yeah, Sean, I think that's right. So Giga would have definitely claimed it if it was him for sure. So we do have some comments from Giga, and he put out 4 hours ago. He goes, 4 hours ago, ProveX has been provided liquidity. So he was already onto it pretty early on. And then he put in a comment, what else there? So 4 hours ago, so I deleted my tweets. I think a major error just occurred. The official ProveX contract just launched, but it has broken trading logic. It's a honeypot right now because you can buy it and not sell. I deleted the tweet because after I posted it, I thought I got spoofed because trading went live immediately, which means there was certainly a mistake that happened. I will keep monitoring this and keep you guys updated with what I see. So that's kind of weird. Did Richard announce the launch with the contract? Yes. Something is crapped and not working there is a mistake 100%. And of course, that's kind of what we got from CryptoSoul with this summary, right? So that's kind of where Giga was. Now he is typically very good at sniping things pretty early. So he's probably the closest one there. Now they did hold a X space on this. They had 1,100 people listen to that. I did pop in for a minute, but they weren't really talking about anything at the time, so I didn't bother staying. We had an emergency ProveX launched and whitelist was broken. Well, it doesn't seem like perfectly broken, but we'll see. Now, the question is, I'm pretty sure Giga normally claims victory if he had done it himself, but it doesn't appear that I have seen that so far. I didn't listen to the space, which was an hour and 22 minutes. I don't know. Apparently, didn't confess it. Sean says that Giga was devastated. So maybe Almighty was because he's very quiet. Yeah. Well, someone picked up 50K worth, right? Brizology says, lol, Giga was the person trading. Haha, says Briz. All right, so that is that. Mum's the word, is it? Mum's the word. So that kind of we had there. I know that Somi's been talking about a lot of these developments, so you can go check out Somi for his flow of these posts. That was Giga. We also got Shellgates out there, obviously well-known personality in Pulse Chain. He had a few comments to say about this as well. Let's see, scroll down here. Let me know if there's anyone else that you guys want me to look at as well. We got ProveX is a really clean ticker, probably my favorite in the whole lineup. One ProveX token is now worth over $4 trillion. Everyone who bought it is now insanely rich. Congrats on the life-changing money to all true believers. Well, apparently it's the guy that bought the first trade that made the biggest gain. Richard claims people can only buy but not sell, but an apparent insider wallet, which looks like the liquidity wallet, they've only made around 4K so far. What a show there! What a crap show! But it's being manipulated essentially. Seems Richard Hart studied Coin Mafia's launch technique. Well, it's a bit of a jab there, but it is what it is. It's certainly caused a bit of drama. Like I say, the pool's pretty small. It seems like there was one big winner with the first trade, and now it's pretty much waiting for the unlock of the main supply, right? Everybody, the main LPs and everyone to be able to trade in about 15 hours. So we'll wait for another update from Richard on that. So that's kind of the main posts that I've seen. We did cover a lot of posts earlier in the live stream earlier today. Sean says execute found at Giga came in later. Okay. XQ found it first and Giga came in later. Those are two personalities. If you guys are not familiar in the Pulse Chain community, do a lot of egg spaces and quick traders there. Quick traders love using bots and things like that, don't they? So that's kind of cool. That is where we are. How are we doing for time? 24 minutes. So that is kind of the stuff that we've seen so far. All I'll say is covering this is don't forget to subscribe and smash the follow button on X. We've got 15 people to go to get to 1,500. So that's kind of where we are right now. So that's kind of it. I mean, that's pretty much the update so far that I've seen that's of reasonable merit. There's obviously lots of opinions, lots of people talking about it. But I think CryptoSoul's post there was a nice summary of everything that happened. So I will post that in the chat there if you want to go and read that. So that is the one there. And we might as well post that little X space, shouldn't we? If you want to go here, the X space, there were a lot of key people in that. Key players, not gangsters. I guess there's a few gangsters, but mostly key players. Let's go check Somi stuff because it can be entertaining. So let's go see what he was saying. It's we might as well go check that. So we had Somi at the top here, didn't we? And he's been commenting on this the last couple of hours. So we might as well pick that up. So let's scroll down and see what that's all about. Yeah, so he's been pretty busy on all this. How far back's he been talking about this? I guess 5-6 hours. No, not quite there. Where did he got there? 4 hours ago. So 4 hours ago, Corey. Now, obviously, this is Somi's writing, not my own. So I'm just reading it out verbatim. Right? I tried to stay on no drama channel as best I can. Right, the best I can. I do about 99% well with it. Every so often, I'll drop the ball. You know, it's life. We got Corey Spaghetti Meatballs has jumped in saying poo PROVEX. So obviously, Corey's not been very happy with Pulse Chain over the last I don't know, year or so. And has been one of the dissenting Pulse Chain influencers, right? So there's probably about 3 of them that are particularly, unhappy. And we got Corey says, poo PROVEX, you're all sacked for this dog crap, basically. You know me, I don't really like swear words, so dog crap. I'm just PCing it. Richard says, warning, it looks like the code is actually only letting people buy, not sell. So that's always not a good look, always not a good look. So Corey made most of that there. And we got that from Somi covering that. So we did, what else did we get? We got some more comments. What's he done there? Oh, he's done a little grok summary, is he? How the wallet got ProveX, how the wallet traded afterwards. He's done a little bit of research there from looks of it. What does Grok say? Actually, there's a summary at the bottom, is it? ProveX is traded. Yeah, okay, we know that. So let's scroll back up here a little bit. It looks like he's done some videos, is he, of it? 4 hours ago, he says, warning for Pulse Chain. Richard Hart has posted that ProveX PRVX is a honeypot, buy only, which can't be sold. And obviously, he's taking a bit of humor about that. This is what actually is happening at the moment, at least until everyone starts to be able to trade their whitelisted tokens from the sacrifice, and of course the LPs get set up properly on V1 or something. However, the Dexarena chart shows somebody selling, and we've had CryptoSolve talking about the same wallet setting up another wallet there. The router was whitelisted, which allows the tokens to be bought earlier than intended. And Richard Hartslow's tweeted that he wouldn't suggest buying until the code state is observed in 20 hours, which is about 15 hours from now. We are investigating the situation. Is human error from a man far away from a sandwich shop or a convenience chapter in the roadmap? That's kind of funny. But so that is the post there from Somi. I think that's kind of it there. Let's pop back up here as well. What's going on with Pulse Chain? So we've got a little video here. Let's play this little trick. I don't know if I've actually got the audio on this one. You probably won't hear the audio, but he's got a little video there. We might miss that because I don't think I actually put the audio on. My bad on that. He's got another one. Everybody's gone on crypto. So I think that's it. So that's it from Somi, essentially. So we've got some good ones there. So we've got Richard got CryptoSolve. I think he sums it up pretty well with the post-mortem there. And we've had a few comments there. It looks like Giga is not involved, not in beneficiary at least of the 50,000 ProveX tokens or where it was. So exciting times. So we are ticking down though for the launch, right? So the launch is ticking down. I think Maddie Allen, did Maddie Allen post that, or Pulse Chain? I think it was Maddie Allen. I've had trouble with my keyboard lately, so it is what it is. Matty Allen. Let's try Pulse Chain because I think he also controls Pulse Chain, right? So Pulse Chain. Damn! I need a new keyboard or something. I don't know what's going on. Pulse Chain. This is what happens when you don't have it all set up, right? And we'll set it up there. Pulse Chain, but the yellow ticker must be that one. And I think they had something down here about the time zone or something. Richard's got it, of course. I guess we could have just used Richard's one. Where did he go? Exact time of launch in any time zone. There we go. So we're ticking away here with the old countdown. There's a countdown. The video does say ProveX countdown, so I guess we've got to look at a countdown. We don't actually have a countdown. We've got a clock, though. We've got 8:33 p.m. Countdown there. So, what's that? I don't know. It's got different times. We've got UTC, 12:30 in the morning on Sunday. But Saturday, 8:30 Eastern. Las Vegas, I guess, is Western, right? So 5:30 p.m. So 3-hour difference there as well. So it doesn't have actually a countdown on it, but that's about 15 hours by my count, I think. I think it is. Yeah. All right, so there we go. Anyway, you guys can work it out based on that where you are in the world. So that's pretty easy. All right, we'll leave it there. I'll post the link to that in the chat there if you want, but it is what it is. No, is it posting? I don't know. That's the countdown. We'll do the countdown. Countdown. I've got to fix it up because my typewriter. Countdown. Typewriter. Do you see a typewriter? Does anyone else use a typewriter back in the day? I guess my age is such that I came in at the end, last decade of typewriters, maybe. It was probably the last decade. That's another story for another day. When I was a kid, we still had a wash house, and we had a manual turning thing for the dryer, for the squeezing out the clothes with the dryer. We had to go through a little squeezer, and you squeeze it. I used to wonder what it was. I was like, what the hell is this thing? What the heck is this thing? I think the only time I ever used it was I think my mother was there, and we'd pick up a few clothes and push it through and push the grinder. That's classic. Boy, we've come a long way, haven't we? We've come a long way in the last 50 years. Maybe we've come a long way in some ways, not so much in others. But that is where we are. That's where we are on it. All right, so that is from Pulse Chain. What else we got going on there? Yeah. That's kind of it. So we're keeping a lookout, guys, for the LP pools tomorrow. I think that's pretty much it on the topic. Keep a lookout for Richard's posts in about 15 hours' time or so. Like I say, about 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday is when we're expecting it to launch. And I'm sure all these influencers that we've been looking at today will cover that. But we're doing a live show tomorrow, so it's cool. Now, one thing I have got coming up is next week. I think it's pretty awesome. We're going to have a live stream set up for Monday, which will be, I guess, Sunday US, and we're going to have very special guests. Yeah, that's right, Logan Paul. And I'm just kidding, not Logan Paul. We're going to have the founder of Pulse of the Fallen anime series, but we're going to be doing something quite cool, going through that season 1, season 2. All the characters, some of the story arcs, and some surprises coming up. So I think everyone will enjoy that. So if you love the anime series, which has been quite amazing on our Pulse Chain, then check that out. That's coming up on Monday. That's the first time, as far as I know, that this format's been done. So we're going to go through, like I say, the characters, the arcs, the season 1, season 2's coming, and also the interim series as well. The Chronicles of Somi, Andrew Tate, and the other guy, the fighter guy. I've just forgotten his name. The MMA guy, the one from Ireland, for goodness sake, Ireland. He's probably had a name rebrand. But that's coming up. So that is pretty much it. No one made too many comments about the ProveX, so it looks like people are not too worried. I hope that this video, I know that if you haven't kept up to date, I hope this video has helped to keep you up to date with what's going on, and you don't get caught out buying stuff that you can't sell at the moment, and then you just wait for the official launch. Always best just to wait for the official launch, official tickers, wait for the LP to launch. You don't have to rush in, for goodness sake. It's going to be pretty chaos. If you've got some bot to front run everybody, then it's going to be pretty chaos, and just let the token play out, and we'll see what happens with it. Now, the question is, will we get a lot of fresh capital? Will we see the price pump? Is it going to do the usual pump and then dump and then eventually go up because, the sellers are done for the time being? And, of course, what will it do to the rest of the chain? Well, obviously, Pulse Chain is not really pumping too much right now. So we did have that pump yesterday. We'll tomorrow bring another day of green candles. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out there. All right. I think that's it. About 35 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We've got a lot of people watching at the moment, which is always, hard to end the show. But, I'll be doing another one tomorrow. So catch me. I will be doing, what time now? 5 hours, 10. So, it's probably going to be tomorrow's live stream. It'll probably be when it goes live, so somewhere around that point. So we probably will be covering it live, I guess. I think that works out about right. Maybe tomorrow's live stream is exactly when it goes live. So, definitely follow the live show tomorrow. All right. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to follow on X. And if you want to join Strategy Club, you got the QR code there. Join up today, and I'll see you in there and get all the hottest intel. We've been dropping a lot of alpha stuff lately about crypto, from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Pulse Chain. And I've got to do an X1 chain. I haven't done an X1 chain update for some time, so I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to do a Solana chain update as well. So it'll be cool too. So some of the key stuff that's going to be pumping this bull market ahead. It's going to be glorious, guys. It's going to be truly glorious. All right, take care. Catch you guys tomorrow, and peace out. And everyone in the comments, thanks for commenting. We got a few people, cool people in there. Briz, Sean, who else was in there? Frank White, Wookie, DJ Paul, Crunchons, and Hexcavator. I appreciate all the comments there, and have a great day. All right, take care, and bye for now.